Hey everybody, we're gonna have a great show starting today. So we got a lot of stuff to cover and a lot of good things we're adding into our show. So let's get started. And good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Patrick Flynn, and welcome to this morning's A Different Perspective. I am always so excited you guys are with me on this beautiful Saturday morning in September. No joke, it was a little bit cold when I got here this morning, nice and early. I think it was in the lower 40s. It was kind of nice, but welcome to the Midwest and Wisconsin weather. But it's so wonderful to be here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And even though the Packers did lose last night, even though I don't watch it, but I actually, all you have to do is just jump on Facebook, and you can hear and see what happened, because I jumped on and checked some of my messages, and it was like, okay, oh my goodness, Jordan Love got hurt and stuff. So long story short, like I said, I'm always a local person and hoping that we have a team that does wonderful, and but like I said, Packers lost. So, well, hopefully Jordan recovers quickly and they have a wonderful season. So that being said, hope you guys are doing amazing. We got lots of great things happening today. Kyle, we got a little feedback on there, so there we go. There we are. See, so it's kind of nice. But anyways, a couple things. We have some things that we are changing on the show. We have things that we're adding in. Also, Aaron and I have been working extremely hard on some things behind the scenes that we're going to be coming out with in some weeks. It's kind of neat. A lot of people don't realize that we have a lot of things that happen here on a regular basis that I actually want you guys to know about. I think our culture that we have here is absolutely incredible. Our culture is based on not only all the health principles, which you guys can see every day, but it's actually a lot of personal growth and development. For example, no joke, I demand a person to be excellent. And I'm hoping that you like that, considering the fact that you go see our offices all across the country. So you'd like for us to have excellent doctors. But remember, a team is more than just one of the doctors. It's staff, it's behind the scenes people, and things like that. So I was talking to Aaron about this, so we've been saying a lot of things down to share our culture with everybody, but we're gonna record some of it and show you behind the scenes and stuff that we do to do it. And that could be everything from showing people getting hired and firing people. I think firing people is freaking amazing. I really do. Do you understand? Because it's kind of funny, because I think our culture today is so Bernie Sanders kind of mindset, but don't realize what it takes to be great. You understand? I always laugh. I kind of laugh and going, everybody wants to accept DEI. Okay? And I've said this before. Our culture in the world has become so messed up. The fact that, if DEI existed when it came to the Packers, none of you guys would watch it. Or once again, and what I mean by that is this: culture sets the tone for a lot of things. Let's say like I said, I don't watch sports just because I think it's a waste of time, but I love sports figures because what it takes to get to be great. But what happens this: when we look at just people developing themselves to be great, it takes a lot behind the scenes that people don't see. So for us to go from a small company, starting out with just me as the first ever employee, to now people all over the U.S., we're going to show people that behind the scenes thing that way. And I'm hoping you can see somebody get fired too. Do you know what I'm saying? You suck, get out, okay? That kind of thing. Because here's what happens. Do you want a sucky doctor taking care of you? Do you want a sucky doctor making decisions for your health going forward with you that way? Do you want to be led by somebody sucky? You don't. You really don't. So Aaron and I are going to have some fun with it that way as we bring some of our cultural things that way. For example, I'll tell you one that drives a lot of people nuts, especially in the work world today, is this may surprise you, but I love speed. Do you say, you better move fast around me? If you don't, if you're a slow person, I'm going to drive you absolutely nuts, and you probably quit or I'll fire you, okay? Because I move at such a high pace, that's why we'll be able to accomplish so many great things. But that's just one of our cultural things that we stand for, which is kind of great. And you can have speed and still have massive quality. So that being said, speaking about quality, you can see right here, our challenges coming up. We have our no sugar challenge in January. We have our detox one that you see here in April, which relates to a lot of things we were talking about, removing things that do not belong in your system, also in your household. Then we have July protein, we have July protein, Oh my goodness, July Protein Challenge. And then October coming up. Next month, we have our Sleep Challenge. So do not forget to see that one and join in with us. We're going to show you guys where women need more sleep than men. But let's again, I think men need a lot of sleep also. No joke, I was in bed by 8:30, moving things forward, got up 4:30, came here, been working since. It's kind of great. So join us on there. Now, speaking of joining us that way, our book should be in soon. So you can see right here, our wonderful cookbook. We sold out so quickly. Yes, I know I'm getting messages every day. You can still order online. Order online. It will be shipped out the minute shipment gets here. It's supposed to be here very quickly, but it sold so quickly. It's absolutely incredible to see this wonderful book do great things and stuff. So definitely people, the reviews have been nothing but fantastic. And then we get the next shipment in and things like that. We will be on Amazon things, but we just couldn't. We just sold out so quickly, and we had a lot of books coming on. So. All right, guys, as you guys know, every Saturday morning, we give away a ton of product every single Saturday. So you can see we have our giveaways. We'll continue with our giveaways today and also our Academy giveaway. So let's switch over to Dr. Lucas, Dr. Bryce, and our one and only Aaron Walton. So good morning, you guys. How you guys doing?
Good morning, Doc.
Good morning.
Speaking of sleep, boy, anyways. Guys, thanks for joining us today. I'm going to be on Instagram. It's going to be a great show. Already got a lot of you interacting. Already got some winners. Dr. Bryce, I think you're on Facebook today.
Absolutely,
Perfect.
as always.
And then the one and only Erin Walton, she's on ADP. But we've got people on LinkedIn, on TikTok, and I think those are the extent of the platforms we're currently on. Yep. But Dr. Bryce, what do we got?
Yeah, so guys, welcome to the show. So this morning, as you can see, we have some digestion glandular today. So again, we're always just trying to make sure you guys are sufficient in your nutrients. We're gonna have a whole show today talking about certain foods that can fuel your body to better service. And that is what we're going to be giving away today. So as always, we do make sure you email the giveaways at thewellnessway.com if you are a winner. But I think we already have a winner to something, correct?
We do. We have our Fabulous Academy winner. I got to tell you guys something. Okay, so the one and only Erin Walton, I was actually named after a fictional character.
So
Erin
there's
Walton
two.
From the TV show. My parents picked my name, and I married a guy with the last name of Walton. So there you go.
So there's two. Okay.
There are two. One's real, one's not. You decide who. All right, so our Academy winner. She has been around the Wellness Way for several years, has some personal experiences that will help her as she's looking to share the Wellness Way approach with others. So we'd like to welcome Danielle Sunkel to the Wellness Way Academy family. We're so excited to have you, Danielle, and our team will be reaching out to you soon.
All right. Great job. Congratulations to our winner, and thank you guys for always participating. And remember, as you know, how do you win the gifts and stuff that we give away every Saturday? Interact with them. We have Dr. Antonio who's back there. We have Dr. Brad who's there. We have Allie. Everybody's, once again, behind the scenes that you cannot see in this room. We have the faces up here doing the stuff on a regular basis, but they're behind the scenes interacting with everybody. You can see me. I'm on TikTok right now. If you guys don't realize, my phone's right here. As we add more equipment, Aiden and Kyle are doing an amazing job. So once again, they're broadcasting on all the platforms. TikTok is a little bit different. We're going to add that little thing so we can actually be broadcasting there. So I don't have it on my phone. So TikTok, great job for hanging in there. Hope you guys are doing awesome. But like I said, but don't forget the most important part that we show every Saturday. Like you saw Erin over there, she's our lead journalist that runs our other journalists, doing a wonderful job. If you remember, go to our website and scroll all the way down to the bottom on that front page, and you can put your email address in. We do not spam you, we do not solicit you, but you can put your email address in there and you'll get our newsletter every single week. I love our amazing articles that come out. And also, we also recap this show and it gets sent out during that time. But I will always tell you this, the most important part of our website is if you go to the top right up to Find a Clinic, and you can see all those wonderful clinics. And as you saw, we have our wonderful intern doctors here. We have Dr. Zach and Dr. Monica, Dr. Kelsey going to the Dakotas, but also the Nashville area, which is kind of fantastic. One of my favorite areas of Franklin area. It's a beautiful area, South Nashville. Wonderful Whole Foods there. There's a Whole Foods in the First Watch right there that I absolutely love. It's fantastic. So, you'll see them up on the website eventually as they are interning and training. And no joke, you can ask them. We talk about culture. I train them basically every week, and I push them very hard. I really do, because I expect excellence out of them as I hold myself to an excellent standard. I also hold them to a standard because one day they'll be giving care to all you wonderful people out there. And so that's what we always look at. And I also want to thank, speaking of wonderful culture here, I want to thank Chad and his beautiful wife, Nicole, for getting my 50th vintage 1974 shirt. Yes, because I'm now 50. So Chad, thank you. You're awesome. He's one of our wonderful people in our warehouse. Nicole, his wonderful wife. Thank you so much for I had to wear it tomorrow. I love it. I love my vintage 1974. He's also in the 1974 club. So if you are born in 1974, put 1974 in there so I can actually say hi to all you 50-year-olds that are there. So yes, it's been nothing but wonderful. Turned 50, and not a joke, it's kind of cool. I literally walked in this morning just with a big old smile on my face because, walked in and, not a joke, Luke, one of our managers over here working out in our gym, and it was like I said, it was like 5 in the morning. And I was walking and smile, I'm like going, man, I'm 50 years old and I still feel like I'm 20. I go 100 miles an hour. I'm gonna hit the gym hard. I'm gonna do a bunch of things. I go 100 miles an hour. We do a bunch of things all day long. We got a lot of things going on, but it's kind of neat that you can be 50 and vibrant. And like my wife said one time, she's not a joke, I go 100 miles an hour all the time. It's just the pace, speed to me is everything about accomplishing something in life, having a great time with my wife and my daughters and all my friends and family, just wonderful things that we do. So that being said, we have a wonderful thing when it comes to aging today. So Kyle, let's get into our perspective today. All right, speaking of vintage, speaking of being 50, speaking of things that we want to do, our topic today, as you can see here from our slide, how foods impact aging, women's health. Now, the reason why I bring this up, because I think by nature, everybody wants to look good, but the idea is women have a little bit more concern about that. And women, once again, have a little bit more concerns because things can change much more drastically at them, and they can age at a rapid rate due to the amount of hormones they have to deal with. And there's so many factors in there. Now, am I going to cover every aspect of food and aging today? No. We're going to do several things that allow us to dig into this. But what I want to start out with some things we're going to talk about that are going to be important. We're going to talk about foods that will impact aging. Then we're also going to talk about some supplementation. Now, I would say this beyond a shadow of a doubt, okay? Here's why. Foods are so important. They're so important. I tell people say, Doc, would you rather have a food or a supplement? Well, the vast majority of the time, I would rather have foods. The vast majority. One is the exception, not the rule. Okay, the exception is potassium. Potassium, you need 46 to 4,800 milligrams per day. And the vast majority of potassium foods, they suck. They're not enjoyable. I don't want to eat them. So therefore, I supplement, okay? Now, once again, potassium has such a high need. And that's why people are saying, if there's one deficiency, I know people are big into magnesium, which so are we, I think but magnesium is much easier to get from foods. And the foods are a little bit more enjoyable than potassium foods. Now, once again, are they related to aging? Absolutely. But we're going to cover some different things and then some supplementation that you can do because we all live a fast-paced lifestyle. That's why I talked about culture, speed. Sometimes I supplement because I just move at such a high pace, and sometimes I forget to eat or do something. I'm like, oh my goodness, how am I going to get 4,700 milligrams of potassium today? Oh crap, I just got to take a handful of 250 milligram. So I have, once again, a ton of 3,000 milligram pill, a 250 milligram pill to get 3,000, and therefore I get my needs for that day. Okay, but I will tell you about a shadow of a doubt. So we're going to start with foods because I believe foods are by far the most important. But let's kind of talk about what aging is, because you can see there's very similarities, okay? If you can see me and my dad, I look just like my dad. I'm much taller than my dad and things like that. But the idea is I look like him. And if you notice, you can look like a parent and stuff like that. And you can see there's a difference. You can see the faith and you can say, okay, who's aging there, okay? Now, I'm going to relate this, and sometimes when I use this example, you're going to notice that women are kind of a little offended by this, but we're going to take an apple, okay? Because here's what I want to show you. I want you to picture this analogy for the purposes of aging so we can work backwards and see how we can kind of not reverse aging, but change the skin, change the things so you can keep your beauty, okay? And once again, if you look at the anti-aging industry today, it's billions of dollars, all right? And I even hate the term anti-aging because by nature, we're all going to age. I have a secret for you guys. I am older now than I was when I started the show today. Okay, we're going to age. Okay, and no matter what, all the anti-aging and all the what's that stupid word they use all the time? David Asprey uses all the time. Biohacking, all that bullshit. Okay, now I said not saying they don't have good stuff that they're doing. I'm just saying they act like you're going to biohack and you're going to live to 200 and stuff like that. Come on, just tell people the truth, okay? And if you believe it, then guess what happens? I also have some oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you too, okay? And stuff like that. Because if you look at the body and what I'm not saying that we can't advance things, but, I'm not saying don't work towards them, but it's just, hey, listen, you want to age gracefully. At 50 years old, no joke. Yesterday, I was outside sprinting in my parking lot, okay? There's 50-year-olds that can't do that. I was benching 200 pounds yesterday, last night. And then me and Travis were working, some legs and stuff like that yesterday. It's like, yes, pushing mass weight. Yes, you want to age gracefully. You want to keep your energy. And obviously, looking good is something that we all want to do. So I'm going to show you a simple analogy that I want to base on today. And then we're going to show some of the foods that we can do to affect this. So if we look right here, okay? And Kyle, keep this up for a couple minutes or short time as I explain it, and I'll bring you back in a second. But just take a look at the apple, okay? Because what I'm going to talk about today is oxidative stress. It's one way to age very quickly. But let's take a look. Look at the apple, okay? Let's say that you grew the apple, grew from the tree, stem, beautiful fruit. You take a bite. Now, by nature, everything is going to oxidize. You can see that with the apple. It bites, and as it sits out, it starts to brown, aka there's oxidative stress. That also happens with rust, okay? That also happens in our cells. As you can see down below, there's normal cells, and there's oxidation. You can see cells attacked by free radicals, okay? Available electrons. And the cell then oxidizes, and once again, there's some degeneration to it. Now, if we go back to the picture of the mother compared to the daughter or granddaughter, there's some oxidative stress that happens to the cells. So what can we do in order to reduce that oxidative stress on the body so you can maintain your beauty, maintain aging looking differently? And that's why if you notice, there's some people that are 50 years old and they look like they're 90. There's people that are 70 that look like they're 50, okay? And what happens has a lot to do with his oxidative stress. Now, so if you think about it this way, one simple way to reduce the oxidative stress is like you talk about. When there's oxidation, we're hoping to do it the antioxidation or antioxidants, all right? And so let's look at some of the lifestyle things that contribute to the oxidative process. And here's what they are. So let's take some of them. These are not all of them, okay? Some lifestyle choices contribute to an increase of free radicals in the body, including smoking, okay? That's even noticed. I'm very happy to see that, smoking has decreased through the years, but it does create a lot of oxidative stress. Now, once again, people say oxidative stress, doc, can turn into cancers and everything. Yes, it can, okay? Because if the cell doesn't die, it will replicate even with damage. But let's go back here. And I think this is the most important one. That's why we have a month on it. Let's take a look. Not getting enough sleep. Ladies, if I could convince you that you will get uglier if you don't sleep right. See how I use that? I use the negative to push you. Say, you're going to be ugly. You're going to be fat if you don't eat and sleep and get some good stuff on there, okay? Because true, not getting enough sleep creates massive oxidative stress. Even for a guy, one of the biggest ways to reduce your testosterone is have adipose tissue and then have no sleep. It's going to destroy your testosterone levels, okay? Now, once again, men can get away with a little less sleep, but women cannot. So when you look at the oxidative damage that does happen to you, it's one of the reasons why I'm always pushing you guys. Hey, get to bed between 9 and 10. Hey, at least get that 8 to 10 hours of sleep. Guys like to see around that 8 hours. Could get a little less, don't want to see it that way, but once again, I got my 8 hours last night. Doc, you're up early. Well, then I'll go to bed early. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason, if I have to get to bed a little later, then I'll sleep a little later. It's just what happens. But you got to make sure both men and women are getting their sleep. But it's extremely important for women because there's a lot of oxidative stress. Let's keep on going here. Here we go. An unbalanced diet, eating processed foods, stress, pollution, toxins, all these things contribute to the oxidative stress that people go through, okay? So what I want to do today is I'm just going to give the basis for the highest antioxidant-based foods that you can do that are extremely cheap. They should be put in your diet on a regular basis, and you can do that for your kids, yourself, and moving forward. And these should almost be like a foundational thing for you. And they're such high antioxidants and bioavailable. Now people say, well, Doc, What happens if I have an allergy to them? Well, then you have to avoid them, but I'm going to give you a decent amount of list. And what happens is our wonderful Corinne is creating sheets that not only can be handed out to every patient within our offices, but you can download them on TW Plus, so you do have them. And put them on your, no joke. I would take the handout, put it in the refrigerator, and say, eat these or I will be ugly someday, okay? That's the easiest way to do it. I don't have a lot of fun this morning talking about that way, but I'm trying to get you guys to eat good things on a regular basis, because what happens? That should be some foundational things that you're eating on a regular basis. So now that you want to eat some things that could cause oxidation, you're already full and you're not going to move into this. So let's take a look at some of the highest antioxidant-based foods, and I'm skipping number 1. And I put a C up there, okay? So I want everybody to do this. Now remember, I did that on purpose. Number 1, I just put a C there because I want you to think about it and think what I'm going to say, but let's talk about this, all right? Let's talk about this. And for you guys on TikTok that can't see me doing it anyway, so Kyle, leave it up there a little bit. I'm going to talk about it because I want you guys to see it. Do me a favor, and if you're watching right now until the handouts come out, do me a favor. Take a screenshot, take a picture, do something that you can see this and keep this, okay? So we're going to skip number 1. But then I gave some different categories. You look at fruits, okay? Fruits, by far, blackberries dominate. So you guys know blackberry is my favorite fruit, not only from a standpoint of fiber, but it's the highest antioxidant-based fruit. The next is blueberries. Now, blueberries, once again, all of these things have pigments, polyphenols, flavonoids, epicatechins, all these that are fantastic at available electrons to stop the free radical damage. So therefore, I think blackberries are one of the greatest fruits to eat, not only for the antioxidant properties, but the fiber alone. I think blueberries. So this is not a joke. There's only 3 fruits that I really eat: blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. Do you say them? Because I can get a little sugar fix from them, but I'm going to stay with high fiber. And that's why people say, well, Doug, don't eat fruit if you have fatty liver. Well, these you can kind of get away with, okay? Next, there's some teas, okay? Teas, because you still should be sipping on things. I know right here, but Kyle, don't come back to me, but leave it up there, right? I'm sipping on a tea right now. Okay, now watch this. People do not realize. Be like, yeah, right, Doc. If you look at green tea is amazing for antioxidants. Do you guys understand and look at the screen? Matcha tea is 137 times more antioxidants than green tea, and green tea's high already. Matcha tea. You say, matcha tea. Make a latte. Do something with it that way. But once again, matcha dominates in antioxidant when it comes to teas. Next, seeds and nuts, okay? If you look at what happens, walnuts, once again, walnuts are my favorite nuts there is. Does anybody want to know why? Does anybody want to know why walnuts are my favorite nut? Because it's the highest available nut with omega-3s. And it's kind of funny. Omega-3s are great for the brain. And doesn't the walnut look like a brain? And you say, it's kind of cool. There's a little relationship to kind of eating the food the way it looks and everything. But the idea is this. If you look at walnuts, they dominate in antioxidants because they also have specific vitamins that help an antioxidant state. And then pecans, okay? Pecans. So therefore, here's what happens. I like when people have like a little hand of nuts on a regular basis on stuff like that, where they actually just have a little bit of walnuts, have a little bit of pecans. I try to mix a little bit per day, just in very small amount, less than a handful that way, and throw a little bit of walnuts, a little bit of pecans. Not only the fact that they're high antioxidants, there's omega-3s and other nutrients, vitamins and minerals that you're gonna get from nuts that are great for not only your brain, your bowels, your heart, and every other aspect of your body. But once again, when you're eating these high antioxidant foods, it's going to help with aging. Number 5, if we look at the vegetables, artichokes dominate. They really do dominate, okay? And if you notice, artichokes not only have fantastic flavor, you can buy them on a regular basis, you can buy simple cans of them, they're fantastic. But then cauliflower. I will honestly tell you, I eat a lot more cauliflower than I do artichokes. Do you understand? If you go to the cookbook, you go to the Wellness Way Plus and get our ranch recipe. Our ranch recipe with cauliflower, it's my favorite thing to munch on. Give me our ranch with some raw cauliflower. Cauliflower is probably the only vegetable that I do eat raw, just because I just love the flavor of dipping in the ranch and doing it. Steamed cauliflower, it's fantastic. Then I'll put one of butter on it. usually a ghee on there. And if I steam it that way, I won't put ranch on it because it's too soft to put in ranch on that way. So just wonderful things that you can do. Okay. Spices, mint and cinnamon. Mint and cinnamon dominate in antioxidants. I always tell people, if you ever want to chew gum, have a mint, have cinnamon. You ever notice, if you're in my office, you'll see mint and cinnamon xylitol gum. Okay, so I'm getting xylitol, which is, the microbial aspects of xylitol, and also what it does for bowel purposes are absolutely fantastic. But mint and cinnamon are the two highest spices that you can do for antioxidant processes. Now, what I did on number 7, because I like the munchies, okay? Sometimes you just gotta munch, okay? So I picked 2 superfoods that are absolutely fantastic, that have high antioxidant properties, and that's goji berries and pomegranate, okay? Goji berries and pomegranate. So if we look at that list again, fruits, blackberries and blueberries, teas, matcha and green, nuts, seeds, walnuts and pecans, vegetables, artichokes and cauliflower, spices, mint and cinnamon, superfoods, goji berries and pomegranate, okay? These things have such a high antioxidant process that I would love if you just took this, pasted this on your refrigerator, and say, okay, before I do some things, what can I do in order to actually make sure I have a high antioxidant process in my body to not only affect aging, but if I have other kind of conditions that I may be suffering with that way. So what I want you guys to understand is those things are very important. So that's why if you ever look at my refrigerator, open up, you're going to see this a lot, okay? And you see how I even compensate with cinnamon or mint. I do love cinnamon. I do like putting cinnamon in a lot of things that way. But like I said, sometimes I don't get a lot, so I actually have a cinnamon-based gum, okay? So you have all these things that allow you to do your daily lifestyle that are going to be fantastic. Now, these are great lifestyle things. I highly encourage every patient that I ever saw. I highly encourage every patient that one of our doctors sees. I highly encourage everybody that if you're not a patient or anything, please use these things on a regular basis. You're just going to do better health-wise. You're just going to recover better health-wise. And we're just talking about antioxidants. These things have other properties like I talk about with walnuts and omega-3s and things like that are going to have massive benefits that we aren't even equating to other things going on. But as you saw, number one, okay? It's probably by far one of the most dominant antioxidants, if done right, that I think it's especially not only important for antioxidant health, but also women's health. So let's take a look. Kyle, what do you think we're going to show them? What dominates number 1? You're right, chocolate. Chocolate. If you get a wonderful chocolate, cacao, high flavonoid, it dominates when it comes to antioxidant properties. Now, yes, ladies, your Hershey bars does not count. Highly processed, once again, you saw processed food. So therefore, you took something like cacao. Now you understand, cacao, pure chocolate, pure cocoa, is very bitter. It's very bitter. So therefore, you must make sure it's processed properly. You must make sure that you have something to add into it that way. And it can be fantastic. I like chocolate and mint together. There you go. And there's some bars out there. There's some decent chocolate bars. I have no affiliation with any of them that way, but there's some decent chocolates out there that you can get that have a high antioxidant process and also have mint in there. I want to tell you, now remember, I like this company. I have no ties to them. I don't know the owners. I always have to say that. And I'm going to be very clear about this. I have no deals with anybody. I am self-funded. Let me say it again. Everything I've ever done has been self-funded. There's no lab company, there's no supplement company, but I own the supplement company because I created myself. But anyways, there's nobody that has any affiliations with me to where, once again, that have power over me or sponsor things like that, that would allow me to not give you great advice. I made that commitment to myself a long time ago when I was poor. I watched pharmaceutical drug companies, I watched medical schools, I watched researchers all get bought and paid off. See, it's really sad if you look at the history of corruption. And that's why I feel sorry for medical doctors say, research said, yeah, most of them are corrupt. The FDA, corrupt. CDC, corrupt. NIH, corrupt. You say, and it's not like it's secret anymore. Like I said, I still think COVID was the greatest thing that ever happened when it came to seeing the corruption and everything that happens that way. I don't have that. Nobody owns me. I'm self-funded. I was a poor country guy that graduated chiropractic school and went out and did extremely well by just offering a good service to people and great clinical results. And so I said, I'll never, with all the corruption out there. So when I even use a company's name, we just had a recent one reach out to me because I did a video and I said, well, it's gotta be good stuff. And they're like, hey, we'll send you for 3 samples. I'm like, no, I can afford it. I'll pay for it myself. Then it kind of surprised them because I wasn't telling the product was good so you could send me a bunch of free products and things like that. I actually legitimately said, no, I'll pay for it myself and stuff like that because I don't want anybody to have any leverage over me because they gave me something free. It's not a joke, guys. You can ask all the people around me and things like that. And they're like, oh, okay. I said, you got a good product. I'll tell people about it. You say, it's that simple. Now, that being said, I actually like the chocolate mint Who bar. You say, HU, I like those bars. You say, they've been studied, very low toxicity. It's kind of great. I actually like that chocolate mint one. Now I'm kind of hungry for it right now. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's a chocolate bar. I'm like, let's have some Who bar. Never. Is that the only company that has great chocolate bars? No, there's other wonderful companies that do. I just like that one. I remember when Chris and I went to New York, they actually had a restaurant out there that they actually had even food and things like that. It was fantastic when saw them out there. But once again, I have no affiliate with the company that way. They don't know who I am. And so I just buy the products and stuff like that when you want a little chocolate that way. But there's other companies that I also buy besides them. So once again, is just research them, dig into where you find out who has really good chocolate, less toxicity. Because once again, just like any plant, they're gonna have heavy metals and different things in there, and there's some that are very bad out there that you want to be careful of, and you can look in those. So chocolate is something that I think that we need to have on a regular basis in its best forms. So once again, Kyle, let's put up the list. Chocolate, blackberries, blueberries, matcha, and also green tea, walnuts, pecans, artichoke, cauliflower, mint, cinnamon, goji berries, and pomegranate. No joke. Just please use those as snacks. Please put them on a regular basis that way. So once again, you will have less oxidation, which now contributes to you having better skin, better outlook, less wrinkles, and less oxidative processes that way. So now, if we look at some of the things that we can do from high antioxidant supplements, I'm gonna list a couple of them right here, okay? Once again, vitamin A is extremely important, especially for skin health. Most people do not realize how important and how deficient most people are in vitamin A. And all of the naysayers out there right away talk about vitamin A toxicity. Most people are so deficient, the last thing I'm worried about is toxicity. And on top of it, most people do not eat enough vitamin A to become toxic. And for the aspect, the one research article talked about liver and toxicity, they ate a ton of polar bear liver. You know what I'm saying? A cow, once again, doesn't have as much vitamin A as a polar bear because of the cold. Cold animals actually have more fatty acids and more things that want to do a wonderful job when it comes to the fat soluble vitamins. But vitamin A, cod liver oil, liver or liver capsules, but I just put capsule because I'd rather see you eat liver. Vitamin D, okay? You also want to make sure when you do vitamin D, get it from the sun. But if you do take it from a supplement, make sure that there's K2 there. And also vitamin C. These things are very high antioxidants, okay? Yes, and also vitamin E is there too. Vitamin E is very important for antioxidant purposes when it comes to the cardiovascular system. Now, what I want to show you is this, though. But let's go a little bit more detail because there are some that are very strong when it comes to cardiovascular. Number 4, coenzyme Q10, all right? Coenzyme Q10, once again, is an endogenous lipid that takes part in the mitochondrial respiratory chain reactions. Numerous pathological processes are associated with primary and secondary coenzyme Q10 deficiencies, including mitochondrial disease, fibromyalgia, all the other conditions, okay? Coenzyme Q10 treatment is safe in humans, and new formulations that increase coenzyme Q10 absorption and tissue distribution have been developed. Oral administration of it is frequent antioxidant strategy, and many of the above-mentioned diseases provide significant to mild symptomatic benefit, okay? So I want you to think about this. That's why people will take, if you have any kind of cardiovascular issue, I would encourage a person from an antioxidant process to take a little dose of CoQ10. Now, once again, do you know where you can get CoQ10? Liver. Not a joke. You can get it from there. Eat heart. That's why you can take a heart glandular. You can take it directly individual as a supplement. So once again, and with the cardiovascular disease being so prominent, that's why I brought this one in there. I think coenzyme Q10 should be a part of a regular basis for people. All right. Next one, we take a look. Here it is. Selenium. Selenium itself. Here we go. Many of the physiological roles of the element selenium are directly attributed to the presence within at least 25 proteins named selenoproteins, collectively essential for life and also involved in oxidative stress, okay? Now, if you read the rest of the research on here and stuff, you're gonna notice that, guess what happens, is you're gonna see that there's not only proteins that develop from taking selenium, but the oxidative process is being reversed because, well, once again, there you have effects of the thyroid, and that's why when you ever look, one of the main things for selenium in the thyroid is actually an autoimmune process. They'll notice that there's actually selenial protein produced that actually helps you with glutathione, helps calm down any inflammatory markers. So that's why when people have autoimmune disease, especially Hashimoto's, I'm like going, man, get on a certain micrograms of selenium, because you're going to see a reduction of it that way. Do you understand? If most people start to actually eat selenium-based foods, and it's kind of cool. And we got our doctor interns here. What is the highest selenium-based food that you can eat? What's that? Brazil nut. Yes, a Brazil nut. A Brazil nut. Now, you only need just a couple of them. You don't want to eat handfuls of Brazil nuts, because once again, you want to actually Brazil nuts, you need it in the micrograms. But the idea is this: so a couple Brazil nuts do a wonderful job. So I tell people, have a couple Brazil nuts, a couple times per week, and you can do that, And I tell people there's a good food that you can add on there. All right. Now, once again, walnuts and pecans still dominate when it does come to overall antioxidants. But if you're looking for selenium to put within your diet, Brazil nuts do a wonderful job. Next, a general idea is polyphenols. Now, the reason why I bring up this is where a lot of your plant, your fruits, your vegetables, and certain things come up. And I know they talk about this, and I don't like that they do this. A glass of red wine contains about 100 milligrams of polyphenols. But you can see down below, there's all different mechanisms of actions that help when you have polyphenols. And you can get these from fruits and vegetables and everything. And the reason why I don't like talking about red wine is because ethanol, people ask me all the time, Doc, is it okay to drink? Yes, it's okay. But really, there's not a lot of long-term benefit. And the polyphenols and everything that you can get, and flavonoids you can get from other foods, that you don't need to consume alcohol, because I'm always concerned about, people consuming too much ethanol. Now people say, Doc, is there different forms of alcohol? Yes, you can make it from different sources, but you're still kind of getting the ethanol there. So that's why I'm kind of more in the person that says there's really not much benefit to it. So therefore, I don't encourage people to do it, because on the flip side, a lot of ethanol can contribute to and go over, and you start to actually even feel the effect of alcohol. You can start to notice that there's going to be some damage that may come from it that way. So, but let's take a look at some of the things it does talk about. Here we go. New phytochemicals as potential human anti-aging compounds, reality, promises, and challenges. So the research talks about aging is an inevitable process influenced by genetics, lifestyle, environmental factors. That's why I like this. There's no such thing as anti-aging. It's an inevitable process, okay? Indirect evidence shows that the several phytochemicals can have an anti-aging capabilities, although direct evidence in the field is still limited. The report aims to provide a critical review of aspects related to the use of novel phytochemicals as anti-aging agents, to discuss the obstacles found when perform most anti-aging study protocols in humans, and to analyze future perspectives. In addition to the extensive study resveratrol, epicatechins, quercetin, curcumin, comes from turmeric, new phytochemicals have been reported to act as anti-aging agents, such as amino acids in L-theanine, which is in green tea. And also, once again, some other things. Furthermore, this review discusses the application and several new extracts. Kyle, go back to our slide. There you go. Finally, this review also discusses the most important biomarkers to test anti-aging interventions, the necessary of conducting epidemiological studies, and need for clinical trials with adequate studies and protocols for humans. Okay. So once again, there's things phytochemicals do have a wonderful thing of actually having some anti-aging properties. But once again, what I want to show you is this, is on the supplementation realm, you can take them from a standpoint, you can take actually supplements of coenzyme Q10, selenium, vitamin A, D, E, K, everything like that. But also, there's some spices and some supplement form in oils and everything that are dominant when it does come to this. And there's two that I really like the most. And here's what they are right here: cloves and oregano. People do not understand how high cloves is when it comes to antioxidant process. It's psychotic. It really is. And so if you look at clove and you look at also oregano, two things that I think, once again, are so underutilized: the fact that they have microbial, and clove also has a numbing effect. That's why if you ever notice, you ever look at a natural formula when it comes to clove, it's actually used to actually attenuate and make pain go down in the oral cavity, especially for children that they're teething. Cloves are absolutely wonderful. And it's really neat because you really don't want to do something cool. We're coming in the fall. make some warm apple cider and put a bunch of cloves in there. Soak that in there, just the smell of the house, the aroma, everything that way. Oregano oil. I think oregano oil is essential. I think people should be taking it on a regular basis, not only from an antioxidant process, but also microbial process that happens, especially if you're a woman, because obviously you do deal with a little bit more microbial overgrowth than most men. But I think oregano oil is going to do a wonderful job of as far as the supplementation that you can do that now has a high antioxidant process, but also has a major health benefit beyond just antioxidants, just like cloves. All right. That being said, let's head over to Aaron, Dr. Bryce, and Dr. Lucas and see who our winners are today.
All right. Well, I think we're all winners because I know what I'm having for lunch.
I was going to say I'm going to tweak my recipe book now. Awesome.
That's right.
Yeah, so I will kind of get started here. So I'm over on Facebook, so I'm going to have the winners over here. A lot of people super excited about all these different foods, making their grocery list. So I think that's super cool. So with our winners here, again, we're going to be doing some digestion glandular. Okay, so you'll get your CoQ10, you'll get all your good stuff. We have Sarah Simpson, Sarah Hansen, Denise Oatman, Denise Gidloff, Darcy O'Farrell, Katie Edwards, Lisa Martin, and Marie Engler. So make sure you guys send your email to the giveaways@thewellnessway.com so that you can claim that prize.
Fabulous. Who we have on Instagram?
Instagram has been hopping today, guys. There's been some great conversations. And our first winner is KathyFish62. Thank you for joining us for the first time. KMK Laforte. Thank you for buying 4 cookbooks. Holy cow. The Remples, Bezzy1133. Thanks for describing that farm. That sounds like a great place. Azabalza1, RC Chef 33463. Thank you for sharing some of your own recipes. Jay Broggs, thanks for getting your little ones some of that liver. And we'll have Lana Mialik 18. Sorry if I butchered that.
That's fabulous. Our community is so great. All the communications and all the support everybody gives each other is fabulous every morning. So I am excited to announce Eileen Mako, Erica Jans, Charlotte Olson, Valerie Tyro Landers, Dee Menike, Andrea Stearns, Marsha P., Corrine Zelton, and Shannon W. Congratulations, everybody. Be sure to email giveaways@thewellnessway.com, and Allie will be in contact with you Monday.
Excellent. Congratulations to all you winners. And like I said, it's kind of great. I love when I get a Instagram, Facebook, or a TikTok message saying, Doc, I got my supplement in the mail. Yes, we give away over $1,000 every single Sunday. And Christmas is going to be huge this year because I'm just a Christmas freak. I start celebrating in October. Our tree goes up. We start turning on Christmas music here in October before Halloween even starts because it's just a wonderful giving season. We love it. But that being said, I want you guys to know that we have something called TW Plus, where we have everything up there that won't get us kicked off because once again, and I mean this very sincerely, there's a wonderful guy who, if Trump does win, that will get rid of all this darn censorship. It's kind of great. Kamala will make it worse. I'm sorry. I will tell you right now, I'm very politically active. I know what they stand for. We need Trump and RFK and all these people within our, wheelhouse in order to actually make sure that we don't have censorship. What I have to do now is on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, we're going to cut off right now because we're going to talk about our last 10%, and our last 10% would get us kicked off just because, once again, pharmaceutical drug companies own both Republicans and Democrats. Big oil owns Republicans, and guess what happens? Big tech owns the Democrats. So I think if you're a political party person, you're crazy. And stuff like that. I'm always going to vote for somebody that's going to stick up for free speech. And I feel very sad for the person that the owner of Telegram, as they arrested him because he came to the U.S. and they tried to get control of Telegram, and he was in Russia and they tried to do the same thing. And he landed his plane in France on the way back to Dubai, which isn't kind of crazy. The freest place for people to be on not be censored is Dubai. They arrested him, and it's really sad. So I always stick up for freedom, and I'm very transparent about who I am and what I do and what I vote for and what I stand for. And RFK was one of my biggest. I supported him the most and stuff like that. But now they've joined Trump's organization that way and gonna get rid of censorship and cares about the kids' health and no wars and peace and stuff like that. I'm jumping on that train quite well. So that being said, guys, we're gonna now go to our last 10%. All right, and welcome to our last 10% today. Today's just gonna be a little bit of a recap because I wanna show you right here. I recently had my Wall Street Journal interview, and you can see I just have a picture up on Facebook that way. It's a 33-minute interview. Please go and watch it because once again, they took a quote of me and she did a really bad job. She really did. So as I know, I've dealt with media my whole career. I remember when Fox News called me locally and said, "Hey, Doc, we'd like to get your opinion on the flu shot." And all of a sudden, I had everything prepared. I gave them a wonderful thing. They gave me 15-second clip, and then they gave the medical doctor 3 minutes that way. And I'm like, "You bastards!" And so I know that media is a bunch of liars. That's why I'm happy we have social media. At least we can get some things out there. But the idea is this: so I recorded the whole thing. I had 3 phones, camera, everything, because I knew that, once again, they didn't like RFK, so I knew that they would do something fishy, and they did. So therefore, you can see my whole interview with them. Please go and watch it. It's done extremely well. Also, you can see yesterday I posted something that I believe, because I get hate on a regular basis, but let me read it to you. The difference between me and my haters: you took the shot and then wished I would die because I didn't take it. I watched you take it, and I prayed that you wouldn't die. Do you see? Happens all the time. I have stories constantly, not only from the damage that the shot did to people, but what happens is people that lost loved ones. People lost loved ones. They took it because of their job and things like that. And I literally prayed at night going, please, God, don't let them die. You know, yes, most people are ignorant to a lot of things. And that's why I'm going to start sharing some cultural things. For example, what I mean by that is this. I'm very big on personal growth. I really am. Personal growth means just taking your life in every area and try to make it better. Not overnight. Not overnight. There's no one that can do it. I can't do it. You can't do it. You can relate to, let's say you're 300 pounds right now. Okay. You're not going to become 200 pounds in a week. It's impossible, but you could do it in a year. See, a lot of people also do this. They underestimate what they can accomplish in 5 and overestimate what they accomplish in a couple months. See, time. And once again, people say, well, Doc, but we're not promised time. No, you could die tomorrow, but at least if I'm dying tomorrow, I'm going to be one step forward than I was today. It's about improving on a regular basis. And if you don't improve around me, I will get in your face and I will push you extremely hard to the point where, once again, don't care if you like me, because all I care about is you being better. Because I want a culture of people that are always working to get better. But I know there's a lot of ignorance out there. I know people don't get better. And sometimes I'm empathetic. I'm not sympathetic. And when I'm empathetic, I can understand. I put myself in your shoes. But then I'm not sympathetic when somebody gets damaged by a shot and it's like, oh, please help. No, I'll help. But I'm not going to feel the same way because, once again, I actually recently watched one of the Weinstein brothers and then Joe Rogan interview it, and they're talking about vaccines and things and how bad they're. I'm like, yeah, but it wasn't too long ago that you guys were defending them. Do you say? And so I'm happy you guys are finally waking up, but we've been woke up for 30 some years. So welcome to the party. Okay. That being said, don't forget about our TW Plus, where you can see all this stuff way before Rogan and all these people got woken up to the truth. Okay. We have a wonderful database that covers the negative effects of vaccines, everything and diseases on there that can be a part of. Like I said, that one I love showing is the vitamin K, how toxic it really is. It's actually truly a vaccine. And what's in it, it's not just vitamin K. On top of it, the dose of vitamin K and the form isn't even good for you in the first place. So join our TW Plus. You can put Scratch in for a free code for 3 months. You can put Disagree in there. And what happens is you'll get a wonderful thing that you're going to see on a regular basis behind the scenes on everything that we do, videos, everything. And it's going to be kind of good because we have a cooking show behind her. We have everything going out on a regular basis. There's so much information. And that's why you get so much information free that we put out there. But we have the vast majority of our great stuff behind that wall. So that being said, guys, as you know, I love saying, as you get to the election, stay healthy, stay free, and we will see you guys next week. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a single video or live stream. Each week on a different perspective, we bring you the most cutting-edge information on health you won't find anywhere else. For more information on this topic, please visit our website. A Different Perspective offers life-changing information and resources to share and explore. A Different Perspective is leading a health revolution.